I was in my car earlier today and I received this download of hacking the algorithm. How to hack the algorithm of life, because that's essentially what all of this is, right? If we want to look at it from a just basic understanding of how to get what you want in life, how to create your desired reality, everything is about inputs, and then your output is your experience. And I talk extensively about this in previous videos and in a concept that I created as well called the light formula. But essentially, if you want to hack the algorithm of life, beat the matrix, whatever it is that you want to call it, in order to create your desired reality, you have to understand that everything operates on an algorithm. What are you inputting to get the output that you desire? And what does this look like in practical terms? In practical terms, this looks like if you have dreams, goals, and desires of financial freedom, or of obtaining a certain credential or certification, or going back to school, or purchasing your dream house, your dream car, whatever that is, or just, overall changing the outlook of your life, you have to first look at what are you inputting in order to receive that output. So in the example of obtaining wealth, financial freedom, are you watching and consuming videos of those who have already achieved it? Are you learning all there is to learn about financial literacy? Are you actually practicing things that would lead to financial freedom? Or are your habits such that you're spending money as quickly as you make it, or you're not making enough to save, or you're stuck in a 9 to 5 that isn't going to get you to where you need to go? You have to develop certain skills. And with the way everything is set up right now, developing new skills is as easy as it's ever been before. Like, we have things such as YouTube University, where you can literally, once you decide what it is that you want, you can quite literally learn anything on YouTube, as long as you're not trying to become a surgeon or anything like that. But even that is there is a way to hack that as well, by setting yourself up to obtain the proper skills and to learn all the knowledge that you can about what it is that you want to become. Ultimately, you will become that. Because let's take it into like AI. How does AI work? AI works because of all of the inputs that we are able to give to it, and then it is able to kind of do, the back end calculations to give us the desired output that we're looking for. That's exactly how life works. That's exactly how this whole thing works. I want to make a quick amendment to this video. The best way that I can describe this is, think about your social media feed, your Instagram feed, right? You can quite literally tell what someone is consuming or what someone's experience is like just by going through their Instagram feed. And so if you're aware of this, what you can begin to do is start to change what's on your feed by unfollowing and following accounts that align with who you want to become. For example, if someone is wanting to become wealthy and create financial freedom, as I mentioned, for themselves, then, and their account is constantly showing them images and videos of people who are talking about the struggle, who are talking about lack, who are talking about what they don't have, versus following accounts that are full of abundance, accounts that show wealth and prosperity, accounts that show what life would be like to be financially free, well off, right? This is exactly what you have to do for your life, not just your social media feed. And so when you begin to change the accounts that you follow, the thoughts that you believe, the the things, the trends that you are following, once you begin to change that, you'll start to see that you have a whole different outlook when you are interacting with the world, whether it be through social media, whether it be in person, whether it be how you present yourself, or internally, the thoughts that you begin to unravel, the limiting beliefs that you begin to disregard. Changing your algorithm, changing your feed is one of the quickest ways to begin to reprogram your subconscious beliefs and your subconscious mind. I think a lot of people are on social media, for example, and they don't realize the influence that a lot of their feed has on them. Yeah, you're scrolling and you're scrolling really, really fast, whatever the case is, but it's making a subconscious imprint. And so why not get in front of the programming and the controlling, and you decide what it is that you want to imprint on your subconscious. And when you do that, you start to see that you begin to unravel a lot of things that were suppressed deep down inside, and you create quantum shifts, you create quantum leaps for yourself when you take into your own hands whatever it is that you're consuming, especially on social media. Okay, that's that. Back to the video. If you input enough information about what it is that you want to become, you will eventually start to see that that is becoming your reality. So think about what you're consuming. From a social media perspective, from an educational perspective, what do you do in your free time? You know, are you making a conscious effort to learn all there is to learn about what it is that you want to become? One real life example that I started implementing for myself is I wanted to learn how to trade, to day trade. I had some prior experience, but nothing too in depth. And so what did I do? I took a course on Udemy, which was free for me, thankfully, but I took a course on Udemy. And then I realized that there were so many other great teachers on YouTube. So I watched maybe about 8 to 16 hours of YouTube videos on a specific strategy that I decided upon, that I said this strategy is what's going to get me to my financial goals. I started to watch those videos, and I created a practice account and I started practicing. I started dedicating 2 to 3 hours a day to just trading alone, watching videos in my free time about it, and consuming as much information as possible. This is what an algorithm is. An algorithm consumes so much data, so much information from so many different sources, and then it's able to execute an output or create a reality based on the input. So I spend a lot of my free time, and time is so precious. So the question is, how are you spending your time? Is it aligned with who you want to become and where you're going? Is it aligned with the algorithm of life? Again, everything is an algorithm. Your inputs create your outputs. Time is precious. So if you are someone who's looking to really, really, truly change your life, identify what it is that you want to obtain or achieve, and begin assessing your inputs. Are they aligned with that? And then with consistency and with dedicated time, you will begin to obtain the knowledge, the skills, the confidence, the willpower to go after what it is that you want. As I mentioned, I'm doing this in real time, so I'm preaching what I'm practicing and sharing my experience with you all, and telling you that, anything you desire, literally, quite literally, is already out there for you to just tap into and to really put some dedication into it. And the last thing I'll leave here with you all is consistency is key. Consistency is quite literally what drives the algorithm. And what does this look like? This looks like once you've found what it is that you want to learn, accomplish, achieve, and you start to gather all the data and you start to obtain all the knowledge, and then you start to put it into practice, what good is that if you fall off in a couple of weeks? Or what good is that if you don't maintain it, or if you're not consistent with it? you've just reset the algorithm, and now it has to start over from, you know, ground zero. So with consistency is what builds this algorithm of life. And as you maintain your consistency, you start to see that more and more things start gravitating towards you, more knowledge, more opportunities, more experiences that fall in alignment with where it is that you're heading. This works in the opposite way too. So if you're not intentional, or if you don't make a decision about what it is that you want, you start to see how it creates somewhat of a snowball effect, where, let's say you manifested this in the other way, right? And you are not doing what you need to be doing on a daily basis. You start to see things falling apart in your life. You fall behind on your bills. You know, you start to become more energetically depleted because you're not practicing the habits that are aligned with who it is that you want to become. You're allowing external circumstances to essentially dictate how you operate and the experiences that you have. So all in all, we just want to take control of the outputs by controlling the inputs, and do allow for free will, do allow for, you know, the universe to pivot, redirect, to support in any way that it has to, whatever that looks like. But the part that we can begin to change today is making a conscious decision to essentially create an algorithm of our own. Remember, your inputs create your output every single time. So what are you doing today to get one step closer to your desired reality? It's a question that I want to leave you with. And as always, I hope this video finds who it needs to find. Until next time, see you guys later.